Hey guys, what's going on? This is Hunter Starcraft, and I'm back here casting some more Korean Pro matches for you guys. This is going to be another match off the ladder. Before we get into anything else, let's introduce the players. Down here at the 6 o'clock position of Metalopolis, we have one of the best tournament player from Brood War, at least with respect to consistency with tournament winnings. He's made more money in tournament prize winnings in Brood War than any other player. oGs.NaDa. NaDa is, oh man, he's just a Terran beast, and he has been for many years. And that's, as I mentioned before, really what he's known for, his consistency. He's always performing really well. And in recent GSL tournaments, he doesn't necessarily make top 4s or make the finals, but he's always solid. Top 8, top 16. In Codes, very consistent, just really good all around. He's a solid Terran player, and I'm sure his opponent is going to have his work cut out for him. They're chatting away in Korean. His opponent here, spawning at the north, spawning to the north. I punched his name, I punched his name into Google, and the Google Translate, and, oh man, it really wasn't coming out into, anything readable. Kind of just gibberish, which is often the case when I attempt to translate these Korean names. But what I did manage to pull out was Tails. Tails was coming up a lot with this guy, so I'm going to go with that. This is going to be Tails, the red Protoss player, at the 12 o'clock position. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the cast, this is Metalopolis. These guys have spawned very far away. This is just a regular ranked match on the ladder, so all spawning locations are possible. It's not like the tournament edition. As you can see, is a clear bottom of the ramp as well. So these guys are very far away by foot, which is probably going to play into Tails' favor, just because these long rush distances really negate any early pressure from the Terran player, or a wide variety of timing attacks. So that kind of sucks for the Terran player, but it doesn't really hinder Tails' ability to be aggressive. Of course, when you do some kind of warp gate rush or aggression, you have your proxy pylon, and completely nullifies the long rush distance. But we'll have to see how this plays out. Whoa, really fast command center here from NaDa. NaDa not getting any gas anytime soon. He actually hasn't even scouted his opponent's spawning position. For all NaDa knows, Tails could be over here at the 9 o'clock position, but despite that, he puts down his command center anyway, puts down a second barracks. And we'll just have to wait and see how long it's going to actually take him to pick up any gas. Just a really macro-oriented build here from NaDa. Tails, on the other hand, very standard opener. He's put down his second gateway. He has 2 gases as well. And now that the Stalker's out, he's going to be able to chase that SCV away, but NaDa, with a quick reaction, moves that SCV away from the ledge, going to salvage that single worker. And finally, Tails going to make his way over to the base of NaDa as well, but it looks like this probe here is going to get denied right at the front door. It's not going to be able to see the fast expansion, and third barracks on the way as well. So NaDa's going to be trying to defend his natural base here with really just bunkers and marines for quite a while. He's finally getting a tech lab on one of his barracks, and I mean, now that he's got this refinery, we may see some marauders out. And we'll have to just keep an eye out for that initial factory as well. So this is actually a long weekend for everyone right now. This is, Canada Day long weekend for my fellow Canadians. And, of course, tomorrow being Monday, when probably a lot of you guys are watching this, is the American Independence Day, July the 4th. I hope everyone has had a fun long weekend. I got to get away, go up to a cottage and, just chill on the dock and enjoy the time off. But I'm back now, and I'm glad to be casting these games for you guys. I wanted to squeeze out one cast before a wedding I have to go to tonight, actually. I'm going to a Middle Eastern wedding. I don't know how quite I feel about it, to be really honest. Not a huge fan of long, formal gatherings. I'm not a fan of the tight collar or the tie, that type of thing, but should be some good food. Unfortunately, no drinking. I would assume not. I mean, Middle Eastern, not many Middle Eastern people drink alcohol. But we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully it's okay. I'll be casting more tomorrow. I'll let you guys know how it went. We have a robotics facility now on the way as well, and a pretty fast second base as well for Tails here. Now Tails just poking in with a Stalker. Ooh, he's lucky. Lucky that the Marauders don't have concussive shells just yet, because that Stalker would be dead meat. Now that NaDa has, you know, a pretty formidable Marine Marauder army, he's comfortable to land that orbital command down here at the natural. He made out some SCVs down as well, 6 SCVs to be exact. He's now got 2 tech labs and 1 reactor and an armory as well. This is a really interesting build. You don't usually see ghosts this quickly with the academy. Sorry, I definitely just called that an armory. Obviously I meant an academy. It's a very I mean, it makes sense, I guess. TvP, of course, with the EMP round, very effective against, you know, gateway centralized armies, gateway centric armies maybe. Robotics bay on the way, first observer on the way out as well. So we're gonna have some Colossi in the mix, and then just sort of, you know, your gateway units on the ground. You absolutely need them to back up the Colossi. A few sentries out already, just building up energy, but we are going to have something of a timing attack here. Lucky for Tails, he does have an observer out. He does spot it. Ooh, good call with the scan, takes that out in a hurry. 2 ghosts out already. And engineering bay complete as well. He's getting his +1 attack, still pumping out more Marines, Marauders, getting his combat shields as well. He doesn't have concussive shells, but he does have Stimpack. And this is the kind of timing window NaDa's looking for. Is he going to wait for combat shields? Combat shields going to be done in about 35 seconds. Oh, nice EMPs. He gets 2 out of 3 sentries and a ton of Stalkers and Zealots. Still enough force fields to just delay this push a little bit, but the Colossus on the high ground is what's really going to make the world a difference. Ooh, is it going to go down? 19 hit points, and it does get taken out just barely. That's an absolutely clutch scan there to spot the high ground and eliminate that Colossus. And oh my god, is this going to be enough to do any more aggression or push in? I don't think so. NaDa just has, again, like I mentioned at the beginning, that really long rush distance. It takes a long time to reinforce this kind of push. So NaDa's just going to hang back for a little bit, and that makes sense too. He did do quite a bit of damage. As we can see on the units lost, the Protoss player, Tails, losing over twice as many resources in units compared to NaDa, so a very cost-effective engagement, largely because, I mean, NaDa was able to salvage these 2 ghosts as well, building up more energy with them for the EMP round, and only finally, you know, at the 10.5 minute mark here, finally completing his initial starport, getting a reactor on the factory as well. He's going to lift off the starport and switch it with the factory. He's going to pump out dual medevacs, I would imagine. Concussive shells now on the way, +1 attack now nearly complete. NaDa really just hanging out back in his base, doesn't have any map control. There's actually a probe heading out as well for Tails, and an observer sees exactly what's going on. He knows about the bio-heavy play, dual medevacs getting pumped out now. And oh, NaDa, an excellent move, very heads up, spotting the cloaked observer and scanning for it. Tails here putting out a pretty ballsy pylon, actually. I mean, he's not making any effort to hide this pylon at all. This factory doing a little scouting of his own. And it seems like Tails now a little bit disorganized. He's kind of got units all over the map, but I think he's going to look to, you know, regroup and quite possibly put some pressure on. I don't know if that's actually the smartest thing to do here, just because, I mean, Tails is a little bit behind on the units lost tab, but the army tab, they're really neck and neck. Only 3 supply differential. Is this factory going to get down to the red? It is. It's on fire. It's going to get taken out. It's going to burn down any minute now. There we go. Gets taken out. So, NaDa, just very typical TvP. Get tons of Marines, Marauders, get the upgrades, and then now that he has got a couple medevacs out, it's actually really interesting. After switching the starport onto the reactor, he pumps out 2 medevacs and then just goes straight into Viking production. Viking's going to be absolutely key. We're going to keep an eye out to see if they can focus down the Colossi. And it looks like we're going to have a big engagement any second here. This proxy pylon still in position, not getting spotted. This is going to be it. I'm going to remove the tabs for you guys. Here we go. Those Colossi getting focused down by the Vikings, but the Colossi still doing a ton of damage. Some decent EMPs did go down a moment ago, I believe, but this is just such an overwhelming force from NaDa. These Marauders, Marines here with they have the upgrade advantage that you have 1-0 compared to 1-0-0. There's no Forge pumping out upgrades for Tails, and this attack just gets absolutely crushed. It was really, you know, not even close, just too much firepower, too much DPS, and, you know, with the upgrade advantage as well, NaDa just cleaned up that Protoss ball so fast. Really seems like it seems like Tails really could have used more force fields there. He did not have very many sentries in his army. Using force fields to section off the Terran army and really just maximize the damage of the Colossi is just so important, and he didn't really do that at all. Finally getting 2 forges. He's going to be pumping out double upgrades in a moment here. Let's pull up the production tab once again. Do we have +1 armor? Yeah, +1 armor now complete as well. So this is actually a great timing here for NaDa. This is exactly what he wants to do, and check out this. He's expanding behind it as well. Perfect play here. No sentries once again, no force fields, and these Vikings are able to take out one of the Colossi and actually is forced back. I mean, I think you could make arguments for, you know, either case there, for NaDa to, you know, retreat as we see that he's doing, or he could have continued to engage and possibly wiped out this portion of the army and maybe even ended the game here. But NaDa knows he's ahead. He's continuing to build up his army advantage. He's, you know, got his 3rd command center down as well. Hasn't morphed it into an orbital. He's going to land it right at the gold, though. Very bold move, but, you know, a smart choice all the same. Back at the Protoss base, Tails here, not chrono boosting out his 1-1 upgrades. He's got 2 forges pumping those up, but they're just a little bit late. It would have been great if he had at least +1 attack a little earlier on. Or actually, when you're playing in PvT, it's better to get +1 armor if your opponent is going bio, as NaDa is doing here. If NaDa was going mech, another observer gets sniped with a scan there. If NaDa was going mech, usually it's better to get +1 attack, but either way, we do have a 3rd base going down here. He's not going to have the gold. Tails here are going to fall behind a little bit economically. He's got a Twilight Council on the way as well. I'm wondering, he's going to go for charge or blink. Probably charge. He's got a lot of zealots, and it's very important to, you know, have units like zealots that can close that gap with their charge ability against this kind of bio ball. And it looks like NaDa here is going to be attacking once again. He's just got so many units. 174 supply to compare to 126. A few Vikings in the mix as well. +2/+2 on the way for NaDa. Not going to be done, though, in time for this attack. But it looks like 1-1 for the Protoss player is. Yep. Both attack and armor is going to be complete for Tails here. So this is going to be really the pivotal engagement. Here we go. He's going to want to get those zealots out in front. The Stalkers are actually blocking the zealots. Colossi are doing a lot of damage, but they are getting focused down by the Vikings. Not sure if they're being cost effective. The Colossi really did get taken out quite quickly, and now that they're gone, the Vikings are even landing, and it's just too much stuff from NaDa. Excellent timings from our Terran player NaDa. Great game sense, and yeah, just a solid game all around. All of his decision making is just crisp and well thought out. So definitely one of those games you can learn from, especially if you're a Terran player. It's a very solid build in TvP, and also a build that doesn't actually require as much speed as many other builds. Let's actually take a look at the APM. Wow, I mean, NaDa way up there. That could just be, you know, his play style. He's generally a fast player, up at averaging 230 compared to 120. But generally, when you're going really heavy bio, you don't need as much APM as, you know, some other builds for Terran, and of course the other races as well. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I'm going to be casting more Korean matches for you guys tomorrow. I've got a whole bunch of Korean replays downloaded, and yeah, I'm going to take a look at those. There are a whole bunch of new ones popping up, so I'm really pleased, and I'm going to be casting those. Alright, so thanks a lot for tuning into this cast. If you want more StarCraft content, the rest of my videos are, of course, up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HunterStarcraft. So be sure to check those out, subscribe if you enjoy the content, and keep an eye out for more. Alright, thanks a lot, guys. Peace out.